Hey guys, it's Avondale, and welcome back to Behind the Walls, where I take you guys behind the walls of the Noxcrew game show. I'd like to remind you, as always, to make sure that you've watched the episode already so we don't spoil it for you, so check out that link somewhere up there to see that. And also, in the meantime, you might want to check out this other link that I'll include that'll take you to the series where I made the game that I'm talking about today, Pipeline Pursuit. And my guest for this episode is the man who suggested the idea that won the hearts of the fans. Niall, how's it going?
Salutations, greetings, and thank you for letting me build this, guys.
It was an absolutely fantastic project. I'm just showing off the wall of gears here that Adam built.
I really wanted to
us.
make a point here. Yeah, Adam did such a good job on this wall of gears. And he spent so long on it too. Like, he spent a long time, and it just doesn't get featured in the episode. So, yeah, I wanted to make a point of just saying this is fantastic, and we should use this again.
Yeah, really cool to look at. And I think, isn't there something back behind the buttons in here that was done as well, if I remember correctly?
There was, but like we had to take. I took it out because there wasn't any point.
There's still gears back here. Oh, command blocks.
Oh, there's still gears?
Look at that.
Okay, I guess I just didn't bother taking them out
gear.
afterwards.
It went down into the floor, but I changed how it was set in back here because I ended up having to do a bunch of cloning and yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, anyways, got a little bit off topic there. You guys have just
Avondale,
what?
do you want to come back and free me from this prison that you just enclosed me in?
You must.
Oh, Niall.
You guys have just seen Pipeline Pursuit, the episode. If you made it all the way to the end, I'm impressed. It played out really long in the episode, but it was really fantastic to watch. Nice change of pace for game show, really.
Yeah, I don't think we want to do this a whole lot of, too often, but it's really nice to have a couple of these games in a season, because it was really nice just to have a nice chill episode, have people thinking, and it was good. It was
and
good.
Also
I was really
scenery,
happy.
like this build turned out really fantastically. Oh, and actually, here's an interesting one. I have night vision on right now, so it's kind of marring the effects, but little behind the scenes tip. You notice how it's infinitely bright in this room, even though I don't have night vision on anymore?
No, because I also have night vision. Could you?
Do you not know how to clear it?
Well, I mean, I could drink some milk, I guess.
There. So.
Thank you.
Yeah. Notice how there's pretty much no change. The ceiling up here is. I actually did a lot of building to finish this game myself. Like, I built the entire ceiling, the walls as well, but then I had other people decorate them. It was just one of those things where I happened to have time. But if you come up to the ceiling and look, you'll notice there's all these barrier blocks underneath the ceiling here. And
is this because you put carpet on the barrier blocks by any chance?
The entire ceiling is made out of carpets. So if we zoom up through here, we'll see. Yeah, carpets everywhere.
If we headbutt the ceiling Willy Wonka style, sure.
Right, bust out through the glass dome in the elevator. And we'll see back here. I never showed these from an angle where you could tell what they were, but this is the result of the redstone here with the with all the panels shown and all their different configurations that the cloning was done in.
It was a good exercise in me giving you an idea, saying, "Hey, I think we can do this," and then you saying, "Sure, but." And then that's my catchphrase in the Noxcrew is yes, but because people, one of the main jobs that I have as the redstone admin in the Noxcrew is people coming to me and asking, would this work? And so it's like a consultation service, and I have to say yes, but, and a lot of times I say yes to things that I don't know how to do, and then I have to go out and learn how to do them. So, side note, a lot of the time when we're planning new concepts for games, what we'll do is we'll tend to build kind of shells of games or demos or just a mock-up of the game, and then once we've built that and we get an idea of whether or not it works physically, then we have to go to Avondale and say, hey, we need you to redstone this so we can test it to see if it works as a game. So
it's this weird thing where we've got to figure out whether or not a game is worth the time based on like the shell of the design first. So it's this weird approval process, and often often the more complex ideas will get tucked away. So like there's about 3 or 4 ideas that I've had for games that are just like really redstone intensive that I'm hoping to get to in future seasons maybe, but it all depends on if we've got time and energy to redstone them.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think an interesting thing to talk about, we don't really need to talk about the origins of this game. We've covered that already in the series. But
yeah, please go watch
let's
it.
talk about, in hindsight, what we might have changed about this game. Or things we might have thought about doing differently but then didn't do as well. I think the first thing I want to bring up was the 5x5 grid, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, Niall! Originally when we started this game, I wanted to do a 3x3 grid, and Niall was like, "No, we should do 5x5." And I was like, "There is no way that we could do a 5x5 grid and finish the episode in any reasonable amount of time."
And you were definitely right based on that. Look,
based on the results.
We've made it. Yeah. Well, we can talk about the results now that they're finished.
Yeah, absolutely. And interestingly enough, we are recording this episode probably about 2 months before you guys are actually watching it, which is kind of crazy. It's just when it happened to be convenient for us to do it. But yeah, it's about 2 months early.
Yeah. Because I'm Australia, he's America. There's no way that we have a lot of time to get together and record. Like, whenever we can, it's just like, straight on, let's do this. I'll stay up till 2 in the morning to do it.
Yep.
Fine, whatever. Or he'll wake up at 6 a.m. Or both, in this case.
Yeah,
we've done a lot of recording today.
Both. We've also done a lot of procrastinating, but yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
So, what else? The obstacles turned out great. Thank you guys in the community who took the time to submit them.
Yeah.
I did include the signs in the final version, by the way, so we get Sweet and Vicious there. Mario SS7, I think was that one, yeah. Then Hail the King here.
You kept the pumpkin in for Hail the King.
This is a pumpkin, by the way, in case you didn't know. And then the Sands of Time timer for caffeine boost. And then over here we had the Dragonizer slime launcher, which certainly provided trouble for the blue team, didn't it?
Oh, it provided trouble for both teams, actually. They didn't... Like, I think because they were kind of used to saying, you got to keep pressing the blue button to get the sand down. When they got to green, it was like, yeah, just spam the green button. And that's not really the best of ideas, but...
It ended up working out. I mean, they felt like they were cheating, too, when they jumped up on the wall here. And we actually left it that way intentionally, because jumping on slime blocks is kind of a troll. We really just wanted this to be okay. I think in hindsight, if I were to do this obstacle again, I would probably change the way that this animates. I think I would probably have it spray slime blocks into here, but after you did it like 3 times, it would probably just fill the bottom up 1 level, and then you hit it 3 more times, and it fills up another level, and then you can just get across.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know, there was something about this that just didn't quite end up feeling right to me, and I kind of wish I took a little bit more time to make it look better.
Oh, but you did spend a lot of time on this. Like, I remember you doing this, and you did spend a lot of time trying to get the slime right. Like, it wasn't... It's a weird thing, like, it's such a small complaint, though. Like, looking at everything that we've done, the way that the obstacles have come out, the design and the overall finish of this product, there's really very little that I'd complain about this. Like, the only real downside that we have for this game is that we can't do it again.
Right.
I mean, we could bring back a different puzzle in the next season, maybe, but like, really, the whole magic of this game is that it is this one big unknown surprise that the contestants kind of have to deal with.
Yeah, the reveal. Oh, it's coming! It's happening!
Yeah.
And they're just
so we'd need like
seeing their next torture in front of them.
Yeah.
Incidentally, here's one thing I just noticed. The entire goal of this game was like, you're in the middle of a machine, right? Something comes out of the pipe, and it plops down on these carts, and the carts sort of roll it around, and so that's why we had all the carts here. Then we have this gigantic thing that carries the slime, and then we have this door here. And I want you guys to take a look at the size of this, and then the size of that door. and then tell me what's wrong with that.
Look, I got the memo from construction that we actually had to shut down the the conveyor belts. But don't worry, it will be back up and running. We're working on a shrink ray. We feel like this is the most optimal solution.
Also, it would clip off of this obstacle in the corner. No, but the idea was that this was sort of supposed to loop around, go over here, and then the finished product, the things that turned out right, the right size and shape and everything, were supposed to go through this conveyor belt and off to the factory. And then this was a trash chute that was coming back, right? And any trash that came back from the factory would get sent this way, but that was what this plunger was for here. If the boxes were the wrong shape, which all of these clearly are, I mean, who could even argue?
Clearly.
They get pushed off down to here, and it has that pretty animation that I did, and then it runs on this conveyor belt down here, and then the fence's job was to block them if they made a mistake, so that they could make sure they were sorted, stop the machine, pick off the right product with what I'm assuming is a forklift, but I have no idea how it would get down here. We should have made another door right here. It says pipe. There was a lot of thought that went into this, and now that I'm thinking about it again, it clearly...
There's a door over here. There's to an
office!
Fine. There's a door over here.
There's no way a forklift could get out of there. I'll go in there in a second, but yeah, then you had the crusher.
It's an office.
Then you had the crusher, which was supposed to crush everything down, and then it falls into the trash pit, which would kill the contestants if they fell down in here, by the way.
Yes.
Why did you come down here? As a sign. That's very me-wolf. The way that sign is written.
No, that was me. That was me.
Yeah, but it sounds like me-wolf. And then here's the office where the teams played 20 questions to await their fate.
That was the funniest thing. Like, it was blue team and me sitting in the
Yeah, we sent the help bot in there with them to just keep the illusion alive, you know. That's the point. And yep, they were playing 20 questions in the back room.
They were playing. It was the funniest thing. I mean, it was 50 Shades of Awesome, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, those guys are hilarious.
And then we had the butcher and the pipe over here just chilling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he never got on camera in that game.
We should probably get Nox Twitter to shot in. We should tell him about that afterwards.
I don't know that. I don't think they would have got a shot of it though, because the two cameras were always facing this way. We'd probably have to retroactively add one.
Back and
yeah,
that's fine. Like I'm happy with that.
Yeah. So the best moment in that episode, in my opinion, I'm sure everyone will agree, would be Ungentleman has won the game. They're sure of it. So Oakley's over on the conveyor belt, and he's gotten through all the obstacles, and he's going, "Okay, go ahead, go to the end." And we say in the tech chat, we're like, "Wait, they haven't finished." And wait, did they think they're out? And then we realized that he was under the impression that all they had to do was get to this last square here, and then they were done. And they didn't realize, and so they're running through the entire course. They get all the way to the end. And
this is a good 1.5 minutes after we've realized.
Yeah, we realized it 30, 45 seconds, a minute before. We're just sitting there going, when are they going to notice? And they're sitting there going, wait, there's a door, we can't get through. Is there a red button? What do I do? Blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, Oakley just goes, oh, crap. Go back, go back, go back.
If they want to leave.
Run.
It's pretty unfortunate for Ungentleman to run into the first blockage in their pipe this late in the game.
And he just starts, they run. Oh man, the tech chat busted out laughing. It was the most fantastic part of that episode for sure.
And I think actually one thing that I would change is I would have gotten the teams to disconnect so they didn't know how long each team took. Because it was interesting, blue team had the option to go second because they won the toss, but they opted to go first, which is really strange. I don't know what their strategy was there. I guess they thought, we'll get it out of the way and be done, but yeah, the fact that, and we did tell them, look, you will know the yellow team's time if you go second. So it was probably not the strategy I would have chosen, but nevertheless, I think I would have
it has pros and cons. The nice thing about them doing it that way is that there was an instant gratification when Ungentleman won the game. You didn't have to wait and figure it out afterwards. And that was kind of a weird thing if you remember back to Pyramid from the first match. When they did win that in the episode, it was waiting for Nox to tell them the winner, and it was afterwards, after they were done celebrating, they were like, well, wait, but how many did the other team get? Because we don't know. And that would have happened if we had let it play out the other way. So, I don't know. The only real way to make this game, like, fantastic like that would have been if they had played it at the same time. And it would, there's advantages and disadvantages to doing it either way.
No, look, I think like what we would have lost in the like instant gratification of knowing who would have won, we would have gained in the like yellow team would have schmooved themselves if they had to if they didn't know what the time was, because as soon as they realized that like they'd gotten right to the end but they hadn't finished it, like they were like, oh well, we've got 6 minutes left. Yeah, that would have
changed their impression of it so much.
Panicked.
They were more than willing to look out, that was one thing that 50 Shades really struggled with in this game, was they didn't, Fleek was standing here solving the puzzle, but he didn't once look at the obstacles. He didn't try to move through them. You'll notice when Oakley was ready for his team to push the yellow button, he was standing right here waiting for them. And it was a very important part of the design of this game for us. I think I talked about it in the series a little bit, but when you're standing on this course as the engineer, you can see the entire course from everywhere that you have to be. Up here, you can still see the bottom parts. When you jump across to here, you can still see the bottom bits. Even from over here, he jumped back, but he didn't really need to, because you can still see just from sort of wiggling left and right, you can see the entire course.
You'll notice Oakley did say that he found it a little bit difficult to see, which is fair, but like even at this point here, it's pretty clear.
Yeah,
so
I can
he
see.
Didn't have any trouble.
I can see every part of the course from right here, and it's pretty incredible when you think about it. Like the amount of stuff we had to fit in here, that we kept the visibility as good as we did. Turned out really well, and yeah, it was a heck of a game to watch. I sure hope you guys enjoyed it, especially those of you who were around when I did that series and who were actively participating in that.
Yeah, one last piece of amazing trivia I'd like to leave you with. This is fantastic. Okay, one thing that does not get mentioned in the episode, I'm going to see if I can tell Nox to get the commentators to say this, but I don't know if it's going to go in because we're still editing it right now. Bleak is colorblind.
Right.
I don't know why he got chosen to be the caller, but the only difference between what the contestants saw, you might have seen it in the episode, like this glass here is covered in red wool, so you don't get to see it until you start the game for each team, but the teams do get to see the course here. They do get to see these colours, and we did make a point of saying these colours mark out the conveyor belts.
We said, look at the clay right here. You notice how it's color-coded? That's because there's going to be gigantic squares in there that are that color that have buttons in them, and you got to push those buttons. And so when he's standing in front of this one going, push the yellow button or whatever, and the guy's like, pushing the yellow. No, that one's orange. Oh, what's going on? That was why that happened.
For whatever stupid reason, they chose the colorblind member of their team to represent them in this game.
Yeah, and things happen, but in the end, it was a really fun game to watch. It was a really fun game to make. I really enjoyed that series, and depending on where we end up going with Gameshow, given the opportunity, I would love to do that again and see what people can come up with.
Yeah, and if you missed out first time, if we do it again, make sure to get involved, because we love it.
Absolutely. So yeah, thanks to Niall for coming on and for coming up with the concept for this game.
Thank you for validating my existence as a human, as always, Avondale.
Hey, fair enough. So thanks guys for watching. Until next time, I've been Avondale. See ya.
And I've been tired. It's like 1:44 in the morning. I'm going to bed.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, also, did you know that the help bots came out? Well, you obviously knew, but the helper bots come out of the slime pipe at the beginning of this game.
That is true.
So
nobody sees that.
Kind of interesting. Yeah. Nobody ever gets to see where the helper bots come from, but they have pipes that bring them to every game.
Did you show you in the control room for this game?
I don't know if I ever went around the corner now. Right back here in the gear wall was where I hid the start room for the redstone.
You probably didn't even notice. Wait.